TikTok has a dark side. You've come way too far to stop now, so let's go deeper than ever and see how twisted it gets. Number 15. A TikToker named Rocco.zd watches his friend Jack go deeper down a trail at night when something steps out of the woods and makes its way towards them.
Wait, what is that?
This video almost has to be special effects because the creature looks like it weighs well over a ton, yet is able to walk without a sound, not even the snap of a single twig. It also would probably be running towards them at this point instead of walking forward slowly, but it'd be impossible to tell for sure. So while this thing is definitely terrifying, whether or not it's real is another question altogether. Nevertheless, this TikTok is certainly scary. Number 14. A TikToker named Melody Zaragoza 1121 has an experience she will never forget on a flight, as she later describes simply as being not fun. All of the monitors go haywire and flash on and off in strange patterns, bathing the cabin in a green alien-like glow. At one point, they all turn on at once, almost as if there is some sort of deeper communication efforts at play. But without any further evidence, I would just as soon attribute this experience to faulty wiring, which, now that I think about it, is probably one of the few instances where a ghost could be arguably preferable. Number 13. Gabby and Amy are TikToking at their university, but the extra eerie all-white figure behind them steals the spotlight. I don't know if this is a guy creeping on them or what, but it doesn't move at all the whole time and looks really tall, coming up about halfway to the door behind. This could also be a statue, but it looks out of place and barely there, like it could vanish at any moment. Number 12. A ghost investigating TikTok account called Gateway Paranormal TN experiences brief success when they detect the frame of a ghost standing on the table next to them.
Go walk on the other side of the desk.
Is that a mapping?
But the ghost disappears when he tries to get closer. What's especially odd about this video is how the ghost seems to briefly lean forward, as if trying to resist him, and then gets bumped out of the frame. I was thinking this looked too small to be a ghost, but when compared to the wireframe of one of the ghost investigators, it seems to be a normal proportion. Whether it's a real ghost or just a computer error, they aren't able to recreate it, so it might have been a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence, to which we'll never get the true answer.
It's gone.
Number 11. A TikToker named Jordan Dreyer rides down a rainy road when he and his friend see a lone woman crossing the road. Upon seeing them, she stops and turns their way.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Her white robes fluttering in the wind, and considers them as they pass. Her face is gray and ashen, as pale as her clothing, which I guess could be makeup, I guess if this video isn't real. But as they pass, when the video plays frame by frame, one of her eyes seems to glow unnaturally, possibly marking the exact moment when a curse passes between them, and possibly onto anyone who watches this video, including you. I will say that this could be scripted. There are no other cars on the road, but they are traveling at a slow speed, almost as if they knew she was there. But like I said, the weather wasn't good that night, so maybe he's being a safe driver. Another possibility is that something bad had just happened to a real person and she needed their help, in which case whatever she was trying to get away from could have very well caught up with her again after they drove away. Number 10. A lot of people want to know where the line is when art goes too far, and the answer is when your painting starts moving by itself. There's no loud construction sending vibration through the walls, no jets overhead, no trains, just a picture bouncing against the wall. Maybe they put a magnet on the picture, and a magnet of the same pole on the other side of the wall to make them repel. Or maybe they should just move like he says. Number 9.
What did you say? Can you say that again? Right into the side of my thing? I heard you.
A TikToker named Deadbeat TV is investigating a haunted farmhouse for traces of the paranormal when he gets an answer to his question in the form of a passing shadow.
What did you say? Can you say that again?
He is standing completely still, and yet something moves fast across the floor. The shadow is perfectly contained within this room and does not touch either side of the doorway at all. It doesn't come from behind. Something ran across this room, a low-moving shadow with no body attached, and shortly after, this second ghostly shadow reaches out. This seems like something paranormal to me. Number 8. A TikToker named Brandy Sawyer is exploring an abandoned house with some friends and thinks she sees a ghost before they even get inside. It's standing in the center top right window, the vague outline of a person pressed against the glass. If you don't see anything, let me circle the head. Do you see it now? What's weird is that the windows above and below are clean, and even the top part of this window is clean too, and yet this one section is hard to see through and contains a round floating object, possibly a face, that seems to follow their moves. Number 7. A TikToker named Mark Anthony catches this strange activity at a post office after hours. Some kind of hanging display swings all by itself while an identical display stays still. I think it could just be blowing under an AC vent, but then again, in the very beginning you can see all of the other wall displays in the other doors stay still. So it is weird that out of all of these, only one moves. Number 6. A TikToker named Kayla is posing in the mirror when she notices her Snapchat filter detecting a face in the corner of her room. She slowly zooms in to find Snapchat has successfully located a pair of eyes, a nose, and a mouth directly behind her. Even after the filter goes away, you can still see the imprint of a somber face in her bed sheets, neither smiling or frowning. I guess she could have carefully folded the face herself, testing each over and over again until Snapchat detected a face, or maybe it simply came to her like she says. Only Kayla knows for sure, and in my opinion, she looks just as surprised as the rest of us. Number 5. A TikToker named Prince of Stitches is about to go to sleep when this late night visitor takes over his spot moments before he lies down. The floating white smear somewhat resembles the arm and shoulder of someone sleeping on their side, perhaps someone who once passed away in this very same spot, or it could just be how the light from this mounted lamp is hitting the camera. There's a somewhat similar looking effect happening next to the lamp, shown here. Light artifacts aside, that still doesn't explain how the covers pulsate likely like the shallow breathing of someone deep asleep. Either he put something under the sheets to make them do that, exactly what I don't know, or it's time to check out and find a non-haunted hotel that won't make you room with a ghost. Number 4. Jake Atafi is in his living room when someone pulls open the screen door really slowly and just lets it shut. No follow-up knock, no footsteps walking away, nothing. Even his dog is wondering what the deal is. Jake stops recording to check and claims no one was outside. It's creepy, but it's too bad he didn't record out of his window to prove that his house is as haunted as he says it is. Number 3. A man is asleep when his curtains draw back in a way that looks more like an invisible hand than the wind. Shortly thereafter, a round white object that could be a head lingers around the bottom of the window and appears to gaze in. Next, a bizarre triangular object flies up in a blur directly over his sleeping form. It could be a ghost or it could be an insect. If you thought the curtains moving in the beginning was just the wind, then how do you explain this portion of the covers moving under his bed shortly before the video ends? It looks like something is crawling up next to him, but we never get to see its true form. This is one of those videos that is either completely real or scripted with no in between. The problem is I'm not sure which. Number 2.
Wait. That's the moon on the right. So what the that?
A TikToker named Zandorf looks up to see a large object dwarfing the moon.
Oh yeah, it is. It does do it on mine. You just have to line it up right.
It's not a street lamp because there's nothing underneath of it. Stranger still, the moon isn't even visible on his friend's phone when he tries to take a picture. So is Zandorf really telling the truth?
You don't see anything. Like, we need to take a picture of, like, the difference.
That's so weird. What the there it is. Look.
I think that the larger object could actually be the real moon, which makes the smaller circle a lens flare. This is the only explanation that makes sense to me, unless he really was looking at something much larger and many times brighter than the moon itself. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills, and if you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Have you seen the number 15 music video yet? If not, you're definitely missing out. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person, so if you're generous enough to hit the subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. This way, you'll be notified of the new videos I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Number 1.
I usually try to post funny stuff, but I'm leaving, I put my jacket on, and I'm walking out, and I hear a bang in my daughter's room, and I'm the only one here. And she's been trying to tell me that the place is haunted, and it's an old house, whatever, so I don't really pay much attention. But I'm leaving, I hear a bang. So I'm gonna go investigate.
John McDonald Jr. never believed his daughter when she kept saying the house was haunted, but now he's alone and hearing noises, and so he grabs the camera just in case she's right.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this light on. I'm a little nervous, but so her room's the one on the left, and then we'll just go.
Okay, so pushing a stroller out of the room is easy to fake, but here's the thing. He goes straight into her room, no pauses, and checks some common hiding spots. He checks behind the door, nothing, and nobody is hiding in this corner behind the dresser. But he doesn't check under the bed, possibly because this video is made up and his daughter is under there, or possibly because the bed is so low, he knows nobody could fit underneath, and he doesn't check the closet, since he only checks half the room. I think this video has a 50% chance of being real.